Hi, John from York Bay Financial Partners, looking at investment markets. The Fed really doing its best to sort of try and calm the market down and really cool some of the heat that's been put into it in terms of interest rate cuts. Now, Fed Chair Powell and his officials are really coming out and just trying to take every opportunity to try and take the heat out of the interest rate market in terms of interest rate cuts for this year. Now, that's seen the 10-year back up to 409 and the 2-year back to 436. Now, certainly the market was getting a little bit ahead of itself after its, what appeared to be a sort of a pivot from the Fed at the end of last year. And against that, you've got a pretty robust and strong economy. You've still got reasonably sort of good job growth coming forward. The latest GDP numbers were very good as well. Also, you've seen a pretty strong and robust set of earnings data coming out of the US, although certainly guidance going forward has been, possibly a little bit weaker in the main. So the market seems to have taken a March cut off the table now, but still looking for a potential cut in June. Now, on the political front, a pretty big blow to ex-President Trump. Federal court has ruled that he is not immune to charges over the January 6 riots. Now, Trump is expected to appeal this to the Supreme Court, but it really just could be quite sort of crucial to his potential presidential run in 2024. What also is quite interesting as well is that the Republican Party appear to be sort of struggling for funding and sort of raising funds at present. A lot of the big donors are really shying away while ex-President Trump is still the front runner. Now, obviously, that's on the back of the ongoing slew of legal proceedings against him. So it will just be very interesting to see how this all plays out. Still also got the Ukraine-Russian war as well. That's about to enter its 3rd year. Now, oil has backed off a little bit. It's come back around sort of $78 to around sort of 73.50 and change. And that's, quite surprising really on the back of the US and allies strike against Houthi rebels after the attack by them killing 3 US civilians. And obviously the cause of that is still the Gaza situation, and that's ongoing and showing little signs of any sort of ceasefire at present. Now in the UK, still got a little bit of industrial action sort of taking place, which is causing a little bit of disruption to the UK economy. But also as well over the weekend it was announced that King Charles has some form of cancer. Now while that shouldn't have any direct impact on the UK economy, potentially it's another sort of disruption out there. Now in the EU, the French farmers are causing quite a bit of disruption out there, and it's just going to be very interesting to see how it does sort of play through. We have seen this before in previous years as well. with sort of blockades and protests, and really does cause quite a bit of disruption to the French economy. Now in Australia, it's just going to be very interesting to see what happens with the RBA this month. The retail sales in December were pretty weak, but that's on the back of a pretty strong November. But then again, with the potential sort of shifting of sort of spending patterns with sort of Cyber Monday and Black Friday sales, it's just going to be interesting to see how that does impact the economy. Because certainly inflation is still coming down in Australia. Now here in New Zealand, a much needed boost to the housing market, that's really picked up quite dramatically in the last sort of 4 to 6 weeks. Certainly a lot more properties coming onto the market for sale, but also as well demand is pushing up as well. And there's a little bit of uptick in prices as well. So potentially that all sort of bodes well for sort of consumer confidence, because if you're not really confident about your job or the economy, then you won't be going out and buying a house. Also as well, the dairy sector getting a little bit of a boost as well. The last sort of 4 or 5 auctions have seen a little bit of an uptick in prices, and potentially that could see Fonterra then increasing its sort of payout range. And certainly with the good weather, the New Zealand economy has done pretty well over the summer so far. And if February continues to be a pretty good month weather-wise as well, we expect the New Zealand economy certainly to push on a pretty good rate. You've got good tourist numbers here, and certainly they seem to be spending dollars. So if you are looking for income options, go to the website www.bayfinancialpartners.co.nz for lots of interesting articles, and we look forward to speaking to you soon.